The following program was produced by an independent community producer. The opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of the ECAT staff or board of directors. Lighting for ECAT production provided by the Avery Lee Williams Family Foundation.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Topic Time with Harrison Young. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Topic Time with Harrison Young. I cannot believe this is the final show of February. Tomorrow's the last day of February, and I'm loving it. The weather's finally moderating beautifully around here, a little balmy outside, but and it's a little rainy, but you don't have to shovel rain, and no shows have been canceled over the years, over this winters for weather, and that's awesome. And of course, we have an awesome show tonight. We're going down to the Dallas, Texas area. I got a fellow podcaster named Jenna Sipe, and we're going to talk to her. But of course, before I get there, I got to read these incredible underwriters, and then we will commence per usual. So, we have the Boston Auto Group in North Easton. We have Regret Distillery in Raynham. And we have a new business, Bogey's Golf Stop in Norton, featuring virtual courses, driving range, golf lessons, private tee times, private lessons, memberships, parties and events, food and beverage in Norton. We have Grip It and Rip It trading cards and video games in West Bridgewater. We have another new one, Dirty Paws Pet Grooming in Easton. We have another new one, the Jewelry Salon in South Easton. We have Mockingbird Music in South Easton. We have the Hometown Bakery in Mansfield. We have the Mansfield Boxing Club in Norton. We have Brian's Barbershop in Kingston. We have Mulberry Frozen Yogurt in Raynham. We have New England Floorscapes in Middleborough. We have Lynch's Towing, Auto, Cycle, and Truck Center in Brockton. One number for towing, one number for projects. My pal Lynchy there is always in search of new scrap metal, wheels, anything to do with transportation. He handles it all. We have Vineyard Farm in West Bridgewater. We have the Push Cart Cafe in Mansfield. Great to have them back. We have Westside Graphics in Northeastern. Great to have them back. We have Scott's Fine Wine and Spirits in Southeastern. We have Diesel Plus Unlimited in Whitman. We have Tom Auto in Middleborough. We have One Good Credit in Brockton. We have the Riverside Cafe in Wareham, open 6 days a week, all except Wednesdays, 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. They make the best breakfast from Boston to the Cape, and they have DoorDash delivery. We have Good Old Dave's Automotive in Hanson on Route 58. We have X-Drive Motors Incorporated in West Bridgewater. We have Salon Giovanni in Marshfield. We have Doggy Boutique, all-breed professional grooming for dogs and cats, run by my great next-door neighbor, Debbie Siddell in Brockton. We have Kingston Auto Body in Kingston. We have RW Carpet and Flooring in Norton, covering floors for 50 years. We have Countertops Express in North Attleboro, experts in the installation and removal of quartz and granite. We have DNS Auto Works and Collision Specialists in Abington on Route 58. We have Grant's Rental in Bridgewater. We have Eli's Auto Care in Taunton. We have Haven Psychiatric Services right here in the building in room 211. We have Evan Young Realty, that's my brother, the realtor, and we have Joe's Diner in Taunton. And I want to thank you guys very much. And now, Jenna Sipe, how you doing? So nice to have you on the show today.
Thank you. I'm great.
And you have your own podcast, and I found you on a Facebook group of podcasters looking to be interviewed and do interviews. And you jumped at the chance to do my show, and I'm very grateful. And so we're going to talk to you today and profile you, and maybe at some point I can be on your podcast if you can stand it.
Absolutely. I would love that.
Okay. All right. Are you in Dallas, around there?
I am. I'm in the Arlington area, actually. It's right outside of Dallas. It's between Dallas and Fort Worth.
Okay. Yeah, you got a lovely accent. I love that. You're a real Southern belle.
Yes, sir. That is me.
And yes, sir. Every other phrase out of your mouth is yes, sir. I love that. Okay. I know it's kind of like the Southern hospitality. The women like to be friendly. I don't want to say accommodating, but benevolent to the gentlemen, and respectful and everything, and that's why they say yes, sir. I thought you were in the military, but you said you weren't when we talked a few days ago.
Right.
But okay. All right, well, tell me a little about yourself. Where did you grow up down there, I guess? And what did you do as a child that got you to kind of where you're at now? And we'll work from that.
So, I am not from Dallas. I'm actually from Oklahoma City, the Oklahoma City Norman area.
Okay.
Um, and don't hold against me, but Boomer Sooner all day.
Oh, okay. You're a Sooner fan?
Yeah, well, by default, I lived in the town. I lived there as a child.
Okay. Are you a sports fan?
Yes, actually. I'm a diehard Dallas Cowboys fan. My entire bedroom is all Dallas Cowboys. It's my bedding, everything. Pictures all over the wall, everything.
Sweet. Okay. Well, let me see. What the last time the Cowboys won the Super Bowl was in, I think, 1996, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken. Something
I'm
so.
hoping they win again before I kick the bucket.
Oh, okay. That's great. Okay. Well, they are America's team after all. Still, I mean, and I'm a big New England Patriots fan, and I'm delighted that they won 6 Super Bowls. And no one ever would have seen that coming. And then we had the greatest quarterback ever, and Tom Brady. Yeah. Okay. But all right, well, that's cool. So now, speaking of that, when you were a child, did you play sports? Did you aspire to anything athletic, or what else, or what did you do, or music, or anything like that?
When I was a child, I did play the flute,
Okay,
in school. And when I got older, I played basketball for a little bit, but I
okay.
got kicked off the team, unfortunately.
You want to
So
tell me why? If not, that's fine. But I'm curious.
I was a naughty little girl.
Oh, okay. How tall are you?
I'm 5'2".
You're 5'2". Well, maybe I was thinking maybe that's the reason. I mean, okay, yeah. You don't look. You don't. You're not a stilt, but okay. All right. Interesting. All right. Well, did you do anything while you played the flute? Did you? Well, what were your goals for your adult life? Because a lot of they ask kids, what are you going to be when you grow up? So what did you want to be when you grew up?
So when I was a child, I always pictured myself being like a multifaceted entrepreneur.
Okay.
And I always wanted to own like multiple businesses, but more so, I wanted to do something involving at-risk youth and battered women.
Wow.
I definitely want to volunteer and become a battered women's advocate. That's something I'm working on right now.
Okay.
I actually try to do a lot of fundraisers for stuff like that, just because I try to give back where I can. And that's a cause that's very near and dear to me. So I always pictured myself working with, at-risk youth and battered women or DV survivors,
Okay.
including children.
Wow. Okay. That's got to be. I mean, that's an intense deal. I know how important it is, and it's
Yes.
not for the faint of heart, obviously. And is that what you're doing currently?
To be honest with you, everything that I'm doing right now is the stepping stones that I
Oh,
need in order to do that.
okay.
So,
Okay. All right. Now you have a child, right? You have a daughter, and she had a little mishap today, and fortunately, she's okay.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, okay. That's interesting. But that had something to do with just roughhousing with a friend. You said.
Yeah, she hurt her ankle, bless her heart. She's clumsy like mom.
Uh, Yeah, okay. All right. Well, now when you were in high school, did you do any extracurricular activities?
I didn't actually. I didn't. I wasn't your typical high school student. I actually lived on my own. I left home at a very, very young age,
How young?
15 years old.
Did you run? You mean you ran away from home?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Well, and when you did you find a better environment where you ended up afterwards?
I didn't, but in the long run, I did. Short term, no. Long term speaking, yes.
Wow.
But I had to endure a lot to get that. So,
All right.
but
Well,
in the end, it was all worth it because my life has been amazing. I've been very blessed and God has been very good to me.
okay. All right. Well, and based on what you're telling me so far, it sounds like the going was kind of tough when you're younger years. Now, if you want to elaborate on that, that's fine. If you don't, that's fine too. I don't want to get personal. I mean, I want you to be happy that you're talking to me, but I want you to discuss whatever you feel is pertinent to your current situation, even if it was unpleasant. If you don't mind, if you do, then we'll just skip that. That's up to you.
Yeah, of course. No, I don't mind at all. It took a lot of years of healing and just counseling and a lot of deep reflection,
Okay.
for me to be able to get where I'm at today. And so it's not hard for me to talk about at all. And I'm actually writing a book about
Okay.
it as well.
Okay. All right.
Mhm.
Well, do you want to talk about the books? Explain what give a little synopsis without giving too much away.
Yeah, of course. I'm actually in the process of writing two, and I know that sounds crazy, but two sides of the brain, totally different.
Crazy's great.
One one of them is a cookbook, a recipe cookbook that I plan on wrapping up in the next 45 days. And it's just a quick little 20 recipe, maybe 10 to 12 short story book. I'm going to write recipes that are near and dear to my heart and Southern cooking as well as deep rooted family, recipes. And then I'm going to write cute little short stories that are connected to some of the recipes, just to kind of give my followers like a chance to not only just enjoy the foods that they see me cook on my page, because I'm a food blogger as well. I have a food page
Okay.
um, where I cook and stuff like that. So that all ties into the cookbook. And then the book about my life, I'm writing an autobiography. It's going to be a self-help book
Yeah.
that just walks people through love, heartbreak, and healing.
Okay. All right. So these are two books you're writing, and they're connected because I wrote a book of short stories myself in the 90s. That was my final great accomplishment. Thank you. It was my final great accomplishment of the 20th century, and it took me 10 years to complete the deal between writing it and getting it published, self-published, but still I did well in sales, got a little TV coverage. But in your case, you're equating short stories with food, and that's incredible because I mean that's a very clever concept. And so there's the two different books you're writing on, working on, right?
Yes.
Are you a chef by trade? Do you cook for? I assume you cook for your family, but I mean, have you ever worked as a chef?
No, to be honest with you, I never expected to even be on this path. I actually, to be truthful with you, I don't like cooking at all, actually.
Oh
I
no.
do like cooking for big groups. Like
Okay.
if I'm having like a party or if I'm catering like for a friend and if
Yep.
I'm just cooking for a big group of people, I love it. But if I'm just cooking for like everyday dinner cooking, oh no, we're going out to eat. I'm not doing it.
Well, okay. Well, do you do it? Well, have you done it professionally, catering, or just
No.
just for fun?
This is all new to me. This is a whole brand new path that I'm unlocking that I never even knew that I wanted to do or
Oh,
even thought I would ever do.
okay. All right. Well, okay, that's cool.
But I
Um,
cook really good and everybody likes my food and everybody keeps telling me I should do a cooking
I'm
show.
getting
So
hungry just
you
hearing
know
you
what?
talk. Maybe, yeah. Hey, now, did you go to college at all, or not?
I did.
Where'd you,
I do. I have a bachelor's degree.
from where?
And actually, I have a double bachelor's degree. I've got one in healthcare management and one in health sciences as well.
Okay, and where did you get? What college?
I went to Excelsior College in Albany, New York.
Oh, you came all the way to New York, so you did do some migrating in order to go to school.
Well, no, I actually did that part of it
Oh,
online. The
okay,
end part of it, I did
okay.
because I work full time. So I was going to school full time and working full time. So it was really hard, but I did it.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, you're very accomplished. Okay. Now, just curious. Outside of this, I mean, you sounds like you're a lifelong Southerner. But have you done any more? Have you done traveling anywhere else around the country or the world? And if so, just discuss it if you would. I just want to and tell us why you did it.
Yeah, so I love to travel now. Like
Okay.
as a child, I lived in the northern part of Chicago for probably about maybe a month and a half. Like I
Okay.
ran away, went to
That's, I
Chicago
guess
and
it's better than the southern end. So I hear. So I've been to Chicago. The south end's a little rough. North end's a little
yes.
easier. Okay.
See, when I first got to Chicago, I landed in the South Side,
Oh, you
and it
did.
was very bad
Yeah, yeah, it is.
because it was like literally in the ghetto. Like there was one way in, one way out. It was horrible. I lived there for about probably 4 weeks, and then we ran away and went to the northern part of Chicago for another 3 weeks, and then we got caught and brought back to Oklahoma.
Okay. Did you say you got caught?
Yes,
All
I
right,
was
all
a
right, all right, all right.
runaway.
Now, is this when you ran away?
Yes, this was when I was 15.
All right, now you were running away with some other people, and then you got caught and brought back home. Is that what happened?
Yeah, they all stayed home. I didn't. I left home immediately and just ran away. And then I went to Memphis for a little bit. I mean, I had fun. I've been all over the place.
Oh, okay. You're nomadic. Are you music? Now you said you played the flute. Did you do anything else in music at all? Were you ever in a band? Did you ever perform in any capacity?
I switched over from a passion from music to dancing.
Okay.
So whenever I was younger, I used to love to dance. And my goal at that time, I wanted to be a video vixen. I mean, I know that sounds stupid, but at that age, that's what I wanted to do, or what I thought I wanted to do.
You wanted to do what? Hold up,
But
I didn't hear what you said. You wanted to do what?
I wanted to do modeling and video vixing. I wanted to do both.
There's nothing stupid about that. That's fantastic. Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, now looking back, I'm like, seeing a lot of stuff that the ladies go through in the music industry, it's just not worth it.
Okay. Well, you figured you had to pick your poison, and you had to take the arrows out where they were sticking when you didn't want them to figure out what your next move was going to be. All right. Now tell me about this podcast you do. How long have you done it, and what's it about basically?
So I started this podcast. I did my very first interview. It was a little bit over a year ago, and then I kind of stopped for a little bit
Okay.
because I really wasn't sure it's what I wanted to do. And then recently, a couple months ago, I decided just to go for it and try it, and see if I like it. If I like it, stick with it. If I don't, move on. So I started interviewing people, and basically, what my whole platform is about is just giving people a voice.
Okay.
My motto is if you have a story to tell or things to sell, let's talk about it. Come on my platform. If you want to talk about, I had one lady contact me. She felt like it was important to talk about the healthcare industry and how it's failing Americans. I said, hey, let's get it on the books. I had another lady that wanted to share her story. She's a domestic violence survivor. I'm waiting to hear back from her. Like, anything that people want to talk about that is important to you, I want everybody to feel like I have a voice, because there's so many people out here that just don't have a voice, or feel like they don't, or feel like they don't have the strength or the platform to speak up on certain issues. And I feel like I don't want anybody ever to feel like they don't have a voice. It's a horrible feeling for anybody to feel.
I know.
And I don't know why I made it my mission, but it's my mission to make sure anybody that has something that they want to discuss or get off their chest, let's talk about it.
Well, you know what? I think I always say everything happens for a reason, and my podcast is similar to yours in that I think everybody has an interesting story to tell, and I want to hear what it is. I don't have as many people that have issues like you're discussing, but that doesn't mean I couldn't. It just means that I often, usually when I reach out to people on Facebook, like I reached out to you or the people in that group that we're in, I try to find out the most interesting things about them. And if it just so happens that there's people in need of help or whatever, that's fine. It's just that it hasn't worked out that way too often. But if it does, then that's perfectly good with me. And now, do you try to remain I'm guessing you do the same thing. You try to remain neutral in terms of people's opinions. If you agree with someone or disagree with them, you do it respectfully. You don't give them a hard time about their Democrat, Republican, and all that. Because a lot of people in this day and age on TV shows and podcasts are they're on one side against the other. And my guess is you're not one of those people. Am I right?
No, not at all. I truly believe that it's okay to disagree. Like,
Yeah,
people are so weird. Just because somebody doesn't agree with
I
you
know.
or has a different view, that's fine. Like, I'm perfectly okay with that. As long as they're respectful about it, I'll be respectful too. And I
Bingo.
and we can respectfully agree to disagree.
Okay. So you've been doing this now? Is this a visual podcast or just an audio podcast you do?
We do it live on Facebook Live.
Oh, no, okay. So it is visual, obviously, if it's on Facebook.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you started this when? How many months ago?
My first interview was a year ago. I
Oh,
kind
that's
of
right.
took
You said it was over a year ago. So you've been doing it over a year
Yeah,
ago. Okay. Like right at the
yeah,
beginning of 2024 or at the end of 2023?
yes, or yeah.
Okay. So it's obviously been going, it's been going well. And so can you ballpark about how many interviews you've done and give me an idea of and how many people you've had on so far and how often you do it?
Probably about, and to be honest with you, when I started a year ago, I did one and then took a pause for a couple months. So total interviews, I think I've done maybe, oh my God, like maybe 20 or 30
Wow.
or maybe 15, anywhere from 15. It's been quite a few.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had
Okay.
it, and to be truthful with you, in all fairness and transparency, I had a wreck last year, so my memory is really, really bad. Like,
Oh,
I can meet somebody 3 or 4 times before I finally remember who they
that's
are.
okay. That's no problem. I'm just curious. I'm just wondering if you have an idea. All right. All right. So now how often do you do this podcast? Do you have a regular, do you do it weekly, daily, bi-weekly?
So Recently, I started a second one. So I actually do two now, but they have kind of the same name.
Okay.
I do one weekly every Wednesday with another promoter, Shay Trinity and Jeff Harold. So I do one with them every Wednesday at 8, and then I do one usually daily. But lately I've kind of taken a pause because I was kind of getting a flood and getting overwhelmed with them.
Okay.
And so I'm still trying to find my balance of doing my daily one because my daily one hasn't been steady. It's just been up and down, up and down.
Okay. Okay.
So I'm
Okay.
still trying to get my daily one figured out. My weekly one, that one I just started. We've done maybe 3 or 4 shows and it's going perfectly well. I
Sweet.
love that.
Sweet. Now, do you do the production yourself, or do you have help? Yeah.
For the weekly one, the co-host, they take care of any kind of anything. We just do it Facebook Live.
Okay.
Mine on daily, same thing, Facebook Live.
Oh, okay. All right. So all right. So it's basically it's very easy with the technology to be able to do it.
Very easy. Just go live. I'm not at the point yet that I want to start paying for production. I have a lady that's ready to do it and a videographer. I have everything I need. I don't feel like I don't feel like I'm there yet. I only have like 7,400 followers. So I think more like when I hit, because I have on one page I've got like 11,000, and then on this page that I do my daily shows, that one I only have like 7,400. So I
That's,
think I'm gonna wait to start making big investments until I hit like 10,000. Then I'll start investing a little more.
you got some pretty good numbers there. That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean it's not where I want to be, but I mean honestly, I can't complain because I haven't really been putting in the work. I haven't been consistent, so I'm gonna have to own that.
Do you do it out of your house mostly, or do you go to another location?
So the weekly one, I go to a studio and we do it at the studio every Wednesday. And
Okay.
then my daily one, I do right here from home because that's my goal to work from home, to get paid from my bedroom. I either get paid from my bed or get paid right here at my desk.
Well, that's the all-American dream right there coming true.
Yep, short-term goal.
Yeah. Okay. Does your family involved? Any of your family members involved in your podcast as well?
For my cooking page, my food blog page, just Jenna 230, every now and then, my ex-boyfriend, he's still around. We're still very good friends. We were
Okay.
together 16 years, so he definitely helps me cook, and he'll kind of co get in there and cook with me, and we'll do little shows together. It's very fun.
Okay. So part of your podcasting is the cooking too.
Yeah, on that page, my food blogging page, you're actually standing right there next to the stove as I'm cooking. I have you guys in a stand, like in a phone tripod, and I'm over here just whipping it up, making it happen.
Wow. Okay. You're making people's mouths water on the other end.
Yes, they love it. I mean, everybody loves my food, and I think that's what made me decide, you know what? I think maybe God is just telling me to go in this direction. I don't know why, but I'm just gonna trust the process.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's obvious that you have, you're going with the flow, and you feel the rhythm of whatever you need to feel in order to go forward and move forward and create more success in what you're doing. And it seems to be happening for you, which is incredible. And you never know where you're going to end up, even in a couple of years. You might end up owning a restaurant someday. Who knows?
Yeah, and if I do, then I'm going to make sure that I have somebody to run that for me because I'd be very hands off on that. That
Yeah.
would just be something I would do just to knock it off the bucket list.
Yeah, you say that, but I think my hunch you should be pretty fussy about the quality of the food coming out of there and the people eating it and everything. You want it to keep coming back and getting and ravingly reviewing you for your for future events. So I mean, I can see that definitely.
I think I would hire somebody to just micromanage that
Do
for
you?
me because that would be one of my projects. I plan on opening multiple businesses because I did have multiple businesses before
Oh,
a
you
few
did.
years ago, but I kind of downscaled. To be transparent, I got sued. So I had to downscale and get rid of some of my businesses. So now I'm starting over, all new. I opened a whole new business 2 years ago, and it's been good to me. Life's been good to me.
Okay, what kind of businesses you just started 2 years ago?
Yeah, so I have a business called AIM. It's AIM Marketing, Promoting, and Consulting LLC, and my website is AIM, all capital AIM, the number 4success.net, and
Oh,
that's my website.
so you basically promote stuff, right? You promote people's stuff.
I market, I promote, I do consulting, I do social media management. I teach people how to become a paid social media influencer. I teach credit repair classes, I teach financial literacy classes. I do artist management for musicians. I don't like doing that though, so I'm going to be honest with you. I'm probably not going to do that. If anybody calls me asking me to do that, I'll probably refer them to someone else. But I do also etiquette classes where I teach ladies how to conduct themselves in interviews and what have you.
Okay.
So I do a lot. I also offer armed security and driving services as well, armed and unarmed.
Are
I
these
do a
all,
lot.
these are all online courses that you teach? Is that it?
I can do online or in person if you're local, either way.
Wow. Now, did you paint that picture behind you?
No, I actually saw it online and fell in love with it and had to have it. And
Okay.
I wasn't even online looking for that. I was online looking for vitamins from Amazon. And when I saw that, I'm like, I love that. So I ordered it.
Well, case in point about how the direction that you turned was not what you expected, but look how great it turned out. Well,
Yes,
guess what, Jenna? We're under 5 minutes now. I hope you had fun talking to me.
I did. I did.
All right, so what I want you to do in the remaining time is just give a few shouts out to people that are going to see the show, your followers, your family, friends, whatever, and then we'll wrap it up with the snap and the way we began it.
Yes. Okay. So I would say my first shout out is going to have to be to my siblings. Ashley, Dawn, Jeremy, Chrissy, Denver, Nina. I love you guys very much. You're my world. My children are my everything. I live and breathe for them little boogers. My son is 22 in college to get a business degree. My daughter's about to be 18 in 3 months to go off to college to be a plastic surgeon. I'm
Wow.
very proud of my children. I worked very hard to make sure they had a successful life. And my next shout out is going to have to be to my manager, Shay Trendy. I want to thank her for, I've only known her for a couple of months. And in the few couple of months I've known her, she's done nothing but inspire and motivate me. So I want to say thank you because she's younger than me and I'm learning stuff from her. So I want to say thank you to her.
Okay.
So just thank you to everybody. Thank you for having me on your show and collaborating with me.
Thank you for doing such a great job. And if you know any of these people you think could be great guests for my show, you got my digits, have them contact me, we'll get them on. By Zoom or in person. I prefer the in person, but Zoom works obviously. All right, now is there anything, before we wrap it up, is there anything coming up that you want to mention? You know, if not, that's fine, but I always like to make sure we cover everything in your life that you just want to, in the near future, but you tell me.
Yes, just make sure y'all tap in every Wednesday at 8 for Connecting the Dots or at my page for my weekly podcast, as well as be ready in the next 45 days, I'm going to be releasing a cookbook. Along with that, I'm going to be offering a teaching class where I'm going to be letting people come into my home and we are going to cook right here in my home. And I'm going to teach people how to make a large Italian dish, and it's going to be fun. So look forward to that. And as well as I'm going to be doing a content creator house where I'm going to be hosting an overnight event where people are going to come and we're all going to just shoot a lot of footage. And hopefully I can, work towards getting it aired towards maybe even a show. But we'll see. We got a lot of stuff coming that we're going to be working on.
All right. Well, Jenny, you did a wonderful job. Okay, that's great. So, like I said, if you know anybody that that'll be a great guest for my show, have them contact me with the digits, and then and if you want, I'll try to get on your show too, if I can do it on a certain time when I'm not doing my own show.
Yes, I would love that.
All right, are you ready to wrap the show up the way we began it with the snapping?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. I'll exit February, enter March and spring. We're wrapping it up and snapping out. And see you with more great shows in the near future, of course. Coming up. There we go. Let's go.
Tapping fingers ready. Topic time. Topic time. With Harrison Young. Harrison.
Lighting for ECAT production provided by the Avery Lee Williams Family Foundation.